This podcast is part of the Deluxe Edition Network. To find other great shows on the network, head over to deluxeeditionnetwork.com. That's deluxeeditionnetwork.com.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Graveyard Club podcast. If you're keeping up, you'd know we've been talking about Frank Henenlotter movies, so today we're going to bang out another one. This one surprised me now. Let's talk about Frankenhooker from 1990.
It's alive! I am Dracula.
So after watching the Basket Case trilogy, it really got me interested to see what the other films were going to be like. So what we have here is Frankenhooker, starring James Lorenz. He plays Jeffrey Franken. Patty Mullen, she plays Elizabeth Shelley, and she actually is the Frankenhooker. With a budget of 1.5 million. From what I've read, this went way over the budget, as these sort of films do. But yeah, Jeffrey Franken is basically the Frankenstein of this film. And it's like it's basically an 80s exploitation horror from Frank Henenlotter, a spoof of Mary Shelleys Frankenstein story, but it also shines a light on the crack epidemic that was going on in New York at the time. A movie that just went, like, I'll be honest with you, it was more leaning to a horror comedy in my opinion, but it is a fun film. I did enjoy. So let's get into the plot.
Jeffrey!
What happened?
Some man named Zorro came by here.
Zorro? Here?
Yes. Jeffrey, you were gone.
Jeffrey Franken is a doctor, but is into the darker side of science, making crazy inventions and soon life. He gifts his fiance Elizabeth Shelley's father with a remote-controlled lawnmower, and this is an infamous saying: shit turns left and Elizabeth ends up being killed by the malfunctioned lawnmower. It's a funny saying, like, she's literally just standing in front of the lawnmower. The lawnmower's going about 4 miles an hour. Less. And it kills her, like. So now Franken is grieving. And to the point where he even has dinner and a few glasses of wine with the severed head of Elizabeth. And there's a few other body parts there. So he comes up with a plan to bring her back in a beautiful way by using the body parts of hookers from New York City. Where he goes there and he meets the local talent, and he also meets their pimp Zorro, and he wants to Jeffrey wants to organise a party to bring a couple of hookers back and decide which girl is fit to be his new wife. But with the crack problem going on in New York at the time, a lot of them hookers were actually crackheads themselves. Like, Jeffrey's been creating this drug and he's been calling it the super crack. And he brings it with him to the hotel where he meets the hookers. The girls eventually are turned off with him measuring up their bodies. Like it's obviously at the start he thought it was Jeffrey's kink, but he's getting a bit carried away with himself and just being weird. And Zorro is downstairs of the hotel getting annoyed, so it's taking too long. Hookers eventually find the super crack, and like flies on shit, the gal get fucked up on the new drug that Franken has created. And they eventually blow up. Great effect. I was actually laughing my fucking arse off when I first seen it. Like you could just see it cut straight to a mannequin that just gets set on fire. So great practical effects, especially with that budget. Well, I suppose he had a 1.5 budget, so he had enough of a budget. But yeah, Franken collects them pieces and brings them home. So the Frankenhooker is finally here, almost near the end of the film. It's weird. She only appears in it at the very end, like. But the design is good. Purple hair, purple clothes. The actress, again, Patty Mullen, does a great job here. She's a little odd. She twitches like the 1930s Bride of Frankenstein, the bride in that film. So that's a nice reference there. And the only words she can say is the words that the last words that the hooker said that she's made up of. So she's going around New York. It's like fucking gas. So instead of wreaking havoc on a village and the forest, we have Frankenhooker who's wandering the streets looking for customers, and she's just shouting like, "You have any money?" Looking for a good time. Very good, like. This is not a hooker you want to pay for, trust me. The customers they explode during the sex site. So funny, like. Elizabeth eventually comes back when Jeffrey is, and like she comes back kind of like our memory comes back when Jeffrey's working on her, and she hates him for it. I can only imagine, like, she's obviously not too happy being made up of New York City crack hooker body parts. I wouldn't be myself. But yeah, they got into a little bit of an altercation with Zorro. So after that altercation, the pimp actually comes back and ends up killing Jeffrey. Just blows his head off. It's a great scene, again, practical effects. But Zorro gets attacked by these mutant body parts. Like, obviously, like Jeffrey, like, he's a mad scientist, like, so he was obviously growing different things and all that. So like, it was like the body parts turned mutant, and he fucking killed Zorro. Like, oh, what a fucking scene! Like, I'm not even, like, was not expecting that. But yeah, Jeffrey does die, but Frankenhooker, Elizabeth, basically brings him back. But he did say to Elizabeth earlier on that only works on females for some weird reason. So Elizabeth brings Jeffrey back, but he's back in a woman body. Like, it's like that's literally the end of the film. That's the whole plot. Like, what a fucking, like, what a way to end the film.
Jeffrey, yoo-hoo, wake up. You awake?
And I just want to talk about the acting in this film. Although overall the acting is fucking atrocious. Like, I did like James Lorenz, I hope I'm saying that name right, as Jeffrey Franken. He had he had a real thick New Jersey accent. I think it's New Jersey or maybe Staten Island or something. But he had a real thick old New York accent, and I thought he'd done it very good. Same with Patty Mullen. I don't think she's done many other films bar this one and maybe another one, but she done a great job, especially as the Frankenhooker. And if you remember Casey from Basket Case, she actually shows up in all the other Basket Cases as well, but she's the girl that, like, finds out that Dwayne tells that, like, his brother's with the thing in the basket, pretty much. She obviously gets a little cameo in all these films. She must have known Frank Henenlotter, like. But yeah, I thought the two main actors, I think, done a pretty good job with the acting. Like, otherwise, like, it was a real schlocky kind of sleazy kind of acting just throughout the cast. Like, whatever actor played Zorro was just fucking ridiculous. Like, that whole character was ridiculous. Like, and same with the hookers. Like, they were kind of, like, I think they were made up of Playboy mates and not actual hookers, but actual porn stars. They were the girls who played them, like, you know. And I think there was a bit of beef going on, like. But yeah, with a 1.5 million budget, I don't know, you'd be expecting a little bit more out of it. Like, I think this is why Frank Henenlotter doesn't get many fucking films, because when he gets handed a budget like this, the films are just fucking crazy. Like, it's fucking gas. Like, he did shoot this back to back with Basket Case 2, so I don't know if that shared the budget or whatever. But plot wise, I did enjoy that. It is a kind of a homage to the Frankenstein story, but what I love about this film is the way that it's shot in old New York City. Like, it's not really exaggerated. The toilets that they go into, the streets over there, it just looked dark and gritty, like. And that's what I have to give to Frank Henenlotter. He knew how to shoot them on location, New York scenes. They were fucking beautiful to look at, like. And it was just funny especially when the Frankenhooker goes on the loose, like the way the original would have went on. She's shouting at people saying, "Do you have any money? Need any company?" Like, it is actually a funny film. Definitely, I'm thinking this is more leaning to a horror comedy than an exploitation film. Sure, there's a few scenes, the drugs and all this type of stuff, but it's more of a horror comedy. I was laughing me fucking whole lot watching this. Before we talk more about this little hidden gem, in my opinion, we have a lovely sponsor, and Dee is going to tell you right now about it. Let's get into it.
Life is scary when you wake up and realise that you texted your ex a "you up" text. Yeah, we all deal with those Sunday scaries. The oh shit, stressful, nervous, can't sleep, dread feelings that hit you on a Sunday evening when you're thinking about work or school or just life for tomorrow. Unfortunately, you can feel that same pit in your stomach any day of the week. Sunday Scary CBD gummies were made to defeat the crap life throws at us. These are the perfect CBD gummies for professionals on the grind, super moms, students, party animals, regretful drunk sexters, and everybody in between. I am a terrible sleeper. My scaries tend to hit me at night time, so I end up spending precious noon hours staring at the ceiling questioning life. So I'm always looking for new ways to get better sleep. Sunday Scary CBD gummies help me decompress, clear my mind and fall asleep so I can wake up like a fully functioning human being. We all have the right to live scare-free. So whether you need to take the edge off, calm your mind, sleep better, or just chill, take 2 CBD gummies every day to keep those scaries away. Let me save you with our 10% discount. Visit sundayscaries.com and use our promo code GRAVEYARD. That's GRAVEYARD, all capital letters, for 10% off at Sunday Scaries.
Okay, we're back. Leave a like if you've been enjoying these Frank Henenlotter movie reviews. There's 2 more films that we have to do. Brain Damage. I've yet to see that one fully, but Brain Damage, and there's another one called Bad Biology. So stick around. There's 2 more. This surprised me. Like, I wasn't expecting too much of Frankenhooker. The history of these films, though, it is pretty funny. Like, I think when he was pitching this film to production companies and investors, pretty much, he didn't have a script, so he gave them the base idea. Whoever helped him do his film, he gave them the base idea, and then once he got the green light, he went and then wrote the script to it. So, kind of like, I don't know if he's a bit of a mad director doing it in that fucking way, but you have to give it to him where he comes up with a great idea like Frankenhooker, you know. And he's great at picking actors as well. Now, I'm not sure if I seen Dwayne Bradley, Kevin Van Henroy getting a cameo in this film. I thought I seen him in one scene in a TV, and I thought that was Dwayne Bradley in Basket Case too, but I'm not sure. But again, like Basket Case, this one was heavy, obviously, with the Frankenstein references. This man knows his fucking shit, you know. So again, like, leave a like if you're fucking enjoying this, like. And I do want to say one thing: we are part of the Deluxe Edition Network. For the month of December, our podcast of the month are Deluxe Edition podcast with Casey and Ray, and the Steve and Crypto Show. So if you want to check them out, I have the links in the description. They're podcast of the month, so it's worth going over and having a little look. The network is buzzing at the moment. There's plenty of podcasts. There's everything over there. We have comedy, we have movie podcasts such as my own, pop culture, relationships, whatever you want is over there. We've done an award show, and coming there closer to the Christmas, where there's a Deluxe Edition podcast is doing a video, and a lot of the podcasts, such as myself, is being as cameos in there. So check out for that one. Then when that comes out, I'll leave a link as well, because it's coming up to Christmas now, and I say this will be the last one this side of Christmas, this video. So I wanted to get it out. And probably no fucking Christmas films this year. There's not really many Christmas horror films that I've seen, so I'm gonna keep marching on with the Frank Henenlotter videos. And it's mad to think Bill Murray, back in the day when it did come out, he co-signed it and said if there was any film that you're going to see this year, it should be Frankenhooker. And they even used that in the poster, so that was a nice little shout out from him. And obviously he has good taste in movies as well. But with a budget of what I had, 1.5 million, 2 million, I'm not sure, I'm reading different things online, but in the box office it brought in fucking 205k. So it fucking bombs, like, you know what I mean? Like, but like a lot of films, and like with the original Basket Case, as soon as it came out on VHS, it done great, and that's what gave it the following. Like, I'm pretty sure even Evil Dead got that same kind of following from being released on VHS. See, this is what people don't understand these films, but yeah, this is like, if I'm talking, like, I don't really know what to rate it out of 10. This is the problem. Like, I gave Basket Case a fucking 8 out of 10, and looking back, I'm kind of thinking, Jesus Christ, that a bit much, like, do you know what I mean, for Basket Case. So I'm almost thinking like maybe drop it down to a 7, and this film wouldn't be as good as the Basket Case 1 or 2. It'd be a fair bit better now than fucking 3, but no, it wouldn't be as good as Basket Case 2. So if I was to rate this, I'd probably give it a 6.5. I did like it, 80s vibe, sleazy exploitation, horror, kind of comedy, all mixture. I did enjoy it. My co-host, my girlfriend, did enjoy it as well. She definitely enjoyed it, and that's what, like, I was waiting for her. I didn't know if she wanted to do it today, but I don't think she was. I'm not sure she was feeling the movie that much. Do you know what I mean? To do a review on it, so she'll be on for the next ones. Keep an eye on that.
Hey, this is Casey Shearer.
And this is Ray.
Do you like pop culture?
We're pretty sure you do.
Then come on over and check us out at deluxeedition.show.
You will not be sorry. Or maybe you will be. I don't know.
Face it, dating sucked in your 20s, gets worse in your 30s, and your 40s, forget it.
It's a cesspool out there, and we're your flotation device.
Join us weekly for saucy chat, ridiculous love gurus,
and MILF-worthy fun to spice up your life.
The MILF and Me Podcast. Every Wednesday on your favorite pod platform.
And the MILFandMePod.com.
The MILF and Me Podcast.
I just want to say, everyone who's been subscribing over on YouTube and giving us ratings on Spotify, I'd just like to say thank you. It's been really helped me going. It's a tough game out there for, especially on fucking YouTube, getting subscribers over there. But we're doing good. The numbers are there. There's a good percentage of people watching not being subscribed, so please hit the subscribe button. We're going to be talking about loads of different films. I'm pretty sure every single film I talked about on this channel is good, is interesting, like people will like. I'd like to think I have good taste in horror films, I'll be honest. But yeah, make sure you're subscribing. And I did say in another video, we have a giveaway coming up. I'm going to give away a Blu-ray version of The Hunchback of Notre Dame from 1921. The silent version, anyway. But yeah, keep your eyes peeled on that. This is basically going to serve as the Christmas episode. The one thing I need to do in the fucking new year, though, if I hit a milestone, is to do a video on it, to celebrate it. Like, I've never done it for 100, 150, 200, 250, so 300, fucking promises I'm gonna do like a 300 subscriber special video, get guests on and do something different, like, and maybe make it longer, like an hour or so. We never really do that, like. But in the new year, the videos are gonna get better, the podcasts are gonna sound better, I'm gonna invest in better equipment, better mics, more mics. And I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna do better in the new year. So yeah, as I said, subscribe. Make sure you're sticking around and follow us over on Instagram as well. We post every so often over there, interesting stuff, and we keep up with all the horror trends over there. So yeah, make sure you follow us over there, and follow all the links below to the podcast as well. You don't want to miss out on these as well. High quality podcasts, and there's just everything over there on that network for everyone. Like, there's everything over there. So all in all, Frankenhooker was enjoyable. 6.5 out of 10 is what I give it. Like the effects, although they were corny as fuck, like they were good. But to be honest, 1.5 million, it doesn't look like a film that was that cost 1.5 to make, you know, because the effects were looked cheap as fuck, but like it was done very clever. So hats off to Frank Henenlotter. I think a lot of the money obviously went on the practical effects and not in fucking solid acting. So I don't know, I appreciate that. Like, again, it doesn't stack up to Basket Case. Basket Case is definitely a fucking cult classic. But I'd advise you to go and watch it. Definitely enjoyable. I've been watching trailers of the brain damage, and that looks interesting as well. Like Frank Henenlotter, he makes some crazy movies. Like I'd love to see what what he'd do these days. You know what I mean? Like you give him 200 grand now. With all the technology we have now, what would he do now? Because his last film was in 2008. So I'd love to see what he could do now with the technology we have now, you know. So I'm going to leave it here today. That's going to be it from me. Just before I go, we've one more sponsor, Doobie Energy Drinks. It's an energy drink you make at home, and it's not filled with any of that fucking rubbish that all the other ones are. You know the ones I'm talking about. So if you go over to the website, we have a link in the description, and use Dead Graveyard Club, all caps, you get 10% off your order. So yeah, use that. The Sunday Scaries 10% over there using Graveyard Club, all caps, for 10%. High quality CBD, high quality energy drinks. Check the links below. And in the new year as well, we have a Patreon link down there as well. So if you want to go over and check it out, it's $3 a month. So it's not a lot, but we're going to be reviewing kind of different, like doing different stuff over there. Face reveals, more behind the scenes stuff. There's a lot of podcasts that I didn't put up on the channels that never made it, you know. And there's some that just wouldn't even upload. But yeah, for $3 a month you can get over. You can see all that. And right now there's an Exodus 50th anniversary review. Straight when we came out of the cinema, we done a little review in the car, and that's over there right now. And if you're a Patreon, you can recommend what we review over here. You'll get a shout out every video, of course. And a little bit, like, we're going to try to make a little community over there, like, and you'll be seeing stuff basically that won't be seen or heard on Spotify or YouTube. So yeah, if that's your thing, you're into that stuff, maybe not, go over and check it out. But I do appreciate people liking the videos. Give me a comment if you can. Let me know what you think about Frankenhooker, if you enjoyed it yourself. If you haven't seen it, I'd advise you to watch it and to keep up on this channel, because we're reviewing fucking great films, I have to admit. It's great digging into all these old films, because I went through like a loop of just watching fucking Hammer films, and then I tried to do The Exorcist Takeover, but I don't know. The Exorcist 2 just left a bad taste in my mouth, so we might get back to them ones. But yeah, I'll leave it here. 6.5 out of 10. That's about right for this film. But yeah, leave a like, as I said, and I'll see you on the next one.
What the fuck?
I am Dracula.